Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about a concept that totally blew my mind that I heard on one of my favorite podcasts recently. And then I'm going to go into the heart of what I wanted to talk about in this video. So the podcast is a Lively show, and it's Jess Lively, who's the host. And she was talking about the idea of humans in the world being like cells in a body. Now, of course, there's trillions of cells in the body and there's billions of cells in the world, but in terms of scale, each human is such a small part of the whole world because there's billions of us, and each cell is a tiny part of our body. So go with it, it kind of works. It definitely resonated for me. But she was saying that each type of cell in our body, whether it's skin cells, hair cells, liver cells, kidney cells, etc., 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 each cell has its own special function, and it's when each type of cell is performing its own function optimally that the body is in optimal health. And conversely, if there is a sickness in the body or a foreign type of cell like a cancer, which is basically one cell going completely rogue and starting to attack other cells around it, the body is naturally inclined to try to get itself back to equilibrium. The simplest place that we see it is actually in skin cells. When we get a cut, even if it's as simple as a paper cut but the skin breaks, all we really do is put some ointment or a band-aid, but behind the scenes the body is really inclined to like quickly close it up to the point where it almost is not even noticeable as soon as a couple days later. So what Jess was saying in terms of this analogy is kind of the message that I wanted to impart in today's video. It relates to, number one, we all truly do have a unique purpose for being here. Now, the purpose could be as simple as to become more of your authentic self or to express more love. And I really do believe that those two things are at the bottom of everybody's purpose. And then obviously as you get more specific, it could relate to your vocation or how you serve or how you make money in the world. But at its heart, it really is about expressing more of our authentic selves, and that usually has something to do with being of service and expressing love to the world. So if you don't know what your purpose is, for this video, just substitute those two in, because I do believe they're at the heart of everything else that we do that is on the path of our highest good, if you will. So what was so cool is that if every human is like a cell, we all each have a purpose. But here's the real kicker. Here's why I felt like the analogy was so powerful and I wanted to share it here on the channel. The body is naturally inclined to bring itself back to equilibrium, which means the body as a whole, with all the systems communicating with each other, is naturally inclined to bring each of the individual cells and the individual organs and systems back into functioning optimally when something goes wrong. Why does that matter? Because I heard one of my other favorite authors say this many times, starting from when I followed him a few years ago, but the universe will support you when you're serving your own unique purpose. Why is that? Why does the body naturally heal a cell that's gone rogue and it's become cancer, or a skin cell that's torn, it's a paper cut and it's bleeding? Why does the body naturally try to heal anything that's not optimal? It's for the good of the whole. It's so the body as a whole can return to functioning optimally. So if we now relate the analogy back, think of anyone you know that's serving their purpose in a really big way. It could be in personal growth and development, or it honestly could be anywhere else as well, whatever you're passionate about. Chances are that person lights up their own sphere of what they're doing their good work in the world in. So whether it's a chef or a race car driver or a comedian, whoever the person is, chances are they're having a ripple effect in their particular niche and community. And they're inspiring you, they're imparting joy, and they're really having a positive effect on everyone who comes into contact with them. And you probably can relate. I know I can. I have so many inspirations of people that have stepped into their purpose that it's inspiring me to step into mine. They've served me, and now I want to serve other people. So it's this amazing kind of interconnected, collaborative effect that happens in the world. When one person rises, they give other people permission to do the same. And when one person is of service, they inspire countless of other people to rise up and be of service as well. So wouldn't it naturally make sense? I've heard for some of my favorite authors that they got some really amazingly lucky breaks, or they've had these inexplicably amazing things happen to them that have pointed them in the direction that they were supposed to go, that have pointed them in the direction of, I'm going to be an author one day, I'm going to be a speaker one day, whatever the case. And that, to me, I interpret as the universe helping you, helping that person really get started on their path, because they're destined to do so in order to have an effect on other people. I know for me, again, one of my favorite authors in the personal development space said it in a book that I was reading recently of his, and he said, I'm not writing this book for you. I'm writing it for the people whose lives you're meant to touch. When you step up into your power, there's no telling how many people's lives will be changed because they'll be watching you do it and they'll be inspired by your example. So I really thought the idea of the human body responding to when individual cells, when something goes wrong, and the human body is naturally inclined to go in and heal itself for the good of the whole, I thought it was such a brilliant way to imagine how the universe relates to each of us individually, and whether we're following our purpose or whether we're not. And if this is sounding a little bit esoteric in terms of I don't know what my purpose is, again, go back to the example I gave in terms of look at any of your inspirations, anyone you look up to, anyone that is stepping into their unique calling. I don't care what niche they're in. Chances are they're bringing you a lot of joy and they're inspiring you. What brings you joy? What lights you up? And start there. I'm going to do another video probably right after this on one of my favorite ways to start, so stay tuned if you want to hear more about that. But for now, I'll leave you with this quote that I love. And don't look for ways to serve, look for ways to come alive. Because what the world needs is more people that have come alive. So once again, thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your day here with me today, and I will see you in my next video.